Hi, I'm Lucas Mack, and I'm on a mission to see the hurting get healed and the healed go out and heal others, in order for all of us to experience the true love and light we desire. This podcast is me sharing my journey with you, so you don't feel alone in your journey. Welcome to the Golden Rule Revolution. Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Rule Revolution. I am Lucas Mack, and I have been challenged by a dear sister, Crystal, the Energetic Alchemist, to do 10 podcasts, record 10 days in a row, just stream of consciousness. And so here is day 2. Yesterday I did how to not be afraid going into 2021. And today I'm just going to be here and see what comes. I've recorded 2 beautiful podcasts today with 2 powerful women, incredibly powerful women. And last night I had a really incredible experience. Growing up in my house, there was a crawl space attic that I would go into and hide. It was a safe space for me that no one knew where I was. And it was the one place that no one ever hurt me. And I remembered it a few years ago. It was actually through my closet in my bedroom, but for whatever reason, through all the trauma, I'd forgotten about that I had that room. So I had the loop running through my mind that wherever I was, they could get me, he could get me wherever I was. And certainly that was the case, except for this one room. But I remembered at a meditation retreat and plant ceremony a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I recalled that I would go into this room and it was warm and it had plywood up on the trusses, and I would stay in there, and it was my safe space. And I remembered that. And I remember when I remembered it, tears were just streaming down my face. I had a safe space. I had a space that no one knew, and no one could touch me. No one could hurt me. And I would hide in there. And that was incredibly beautiful to remember that memory. And another thing about me is I have held on to my Legos and certain toys, my remote control car, since I was a little boy. But one of the things, I loved Legos, and I was always happiest. I have first person memories when I was alone, because that's when I was safe. Alone in the house or outside. And I have kept intact my Lego creations from the instructions ever since I was a little boy, like 11, 10 years old. I've kept them all these years. They never got destroyed. I brought them with me, and I've had them at my house. And, I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And my 6-year-old son, last year, I finally gave him these, they're like jets and ships and spaceships and stuff like that. But I was really hesitant. I didn't want him to break it. It was like, that was something that was so connected to me as a kid. And then I got my remote control car out, and I let him play with it. And, I wanted to give it to him. I mean, that's why I kept it, or so I believed why I had kept it. So I held on to it, and I wanted to give it to him, but then I would put it up where he couldn't just grab it. And last night I had this incredible realization where I've been really working on connecting my heart chakra down to my solar plex and my root chakra to be grounded in power, coming from more power. And I saw, while I was in this meditation, that room that I had dissolving. It was like dissolving. I didn't need it anymore. It was like being taken from me in a loving way, but it was melting away. And with it, the Lego, holding on to the Legos. And I found myself inside the Lego bricks, like I felt safe, secure, and perfect. The perfect world was inside this Lego contraption, and the bricks locked tight, nothing could penetrate. And that's where essentially my essence found its safety. And it was all tied to this room I found safety in. No one could touch me. The Lego bricks together where no one could get in and touch me. And here my son, who I've given these to, the other night I put him down and I saw that these ships were all broken. I mean, they were still kind of intact, but they're pretty much broken. And I was like, it's time for me to let these go. This was like 3 nights ago. I saw the ships. And then last night I'm meditating and I see the room dissolving and the Legos going with it. And then I recalled something my son said 2 days ago. He said, "Dad, will you get me a remote control car?" And I said, "Oh, you already have a remote control car." He said, "What is it?" I said, "Oh, it's the one I had. I gave that to you." And he said, "Well, if it's mine, why is it up so high?" And last night I just laughed because the wisdom of a child. If it's mine, why is it up so high? Because the truth is, it still wasn't fully his. And all this, the meditation that I was doing was connected to going from my heart chakra down to my root chakra and realizing that I had to let go of those safe spaces that were outside of me, somewhere in my mind, and the Legos in that attic with the plywood and the warmth and the hiding. That was like the last step for me to come into my body, to be here fully present, to explore all the fullness of being a human, to not do the perfect thing, but to be in love and not allow another's opinion of me sway my journey of walking in love and light, and to shine and share that love and light in the way that I am here to share it. And it's not going to look like the way you're here to share it or another's here to share it. It's going to look the way I am here to share it. Like seasoning, we all are our own different seasoning, and together we make this incredible fragrance or meal. We make life beautiful because of our own uniqueness, not when we all blend in and become the Borg and one mind, one thought, one act, but our own individual sovereignty. And so these are the things that I'm working on, thinking of, working through. And that's that's what's come through, is letting go of those safe spaces that I hid in. The Legos, the attic, crawl space, the remote control car, holding on to these things, keeping them in their boxes, but letting go and realizing I am here, safe, powerful, very powerful. I've not even unlocked the power yet. And the more I do, the more I can share to help you unlock the power for you. And so I'm sharing all this because this is the journey that I'm on. And as we are moving in, it's 4:44. As we're moving into ascension, like our minds have not fathomed yet the fullness of where we're going. And those that are hunkering down, trying to play the old game that they've always played, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for you. You have to let go. Your mind has to fully open and your heart has to fully open, and you have to let go. You have to release all these fears of death, fears of dying, fears of harm, fear. You have to let go of fear. You have to open your heart, crack it wide open, and let go of fear. Stop trying to control others or judge others or shame others or belittle others, and just be in your own body with your own experience, and look at everyone that you come in contact with or engage with as a mirror for what still resides in you, as I look at all of you as a mirror for what still resides in me. And I also had this realization last night of how powerful Jesus was. And this is not to preach Jesus. This is that Yeshua actually lived on this planet. He was a real man, and he was incredibly powerful. And this is what I saw last night, that he chose his form of death. In fact, he even says in the Bible that no man takes my life except that I lay it down. He chose the physical way that he would die. I mean, no one choked him out, stabbed him, stoned him, drowned him, squeezed them, like all the different ways that he probably could have died. He chose to die fully releasing everything. That is so powerful. Fully releasing so that we can fully receive. And I did this post maybe this year, maybe last year, but in order to rise like a phoenix, you must first die in the fire. And many are trying to hedge from the fire, keep from the fire. And I said this on the podcast yesterday. I mean, the line from Braveheart, all men die, but not all men truly live. And why is that? Why is it that not all humans truly live? It's because they are so afraid to die that they don't understand that death is just the step into the next. And that unless you take that step boldly, you can't live in the now. We must get over this fear of death and dying and pain and loss and sickness, infirmities, and diseases, and all these things, and simply get back into not taking for granted the breath that is in our lungs, the breath and the consciousness and the thoughts, and even waking up and not saying, well, today's just a day and today's whatever day and I'll have next week and the weekend and next year. No, today is the only day guaranteed. Now is the only moment guaranteed. So I think of Jesus, how powerful it was that he chose how he would die to show all people, release it all, release all your fear. You want to ascend? You want to resurrect? You want to rise? Release your fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. The unconditional, perfect love of God casts out all fear. So here's a challenge. If you have fear, you don't have perfect love. That's just the truth. Because fear isn't a counterforce to love. Fear exists in the absence of love. So if you have fear, you don't have perfect love. Doesn't mean that perfect love is not available. It means that you have not yet gone in and looked at why you have the fear. Where is the fear? Where is it stemming from? And bringing in and ushering in love into your heart to reign supremely in you. That love becomes Lord. So this is the message that on my day 2 of recording, I bless you all. I'm so honored that you join, whether you agree, disagree, wherever you are in your journey. I still bless you with infinite and unconditional love and light. And may you ascend with no fear, but gratitude, humility, and a boldness like the world has never seen. We're all waiting for you. I bless you. I'm Lucas Mack. This is the Golden Rule Revolution. And I look forward to talking with you tomorrow on the next episode. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening. For support in your journey, go to my website, lucasmack.com.